Picture this, it's 2050 and the world has a new superpower, India. From the hustling streets of Delhi to the technical hubs of Bangalore, India doesn't just play the game, it sets the rules. But how could a nation of 1.4 billion people climb to the top in the next 25 years? And what would it mean for you, me, and the rest of the planet? Stay with me as we dive into the mind blowing what if India becomes a superpower by 2050. Welcome, everyone. Today, we are imagining a world where India transforms from a rising power to the superpower by 2050. I will break it down into three parts: how India gets there, what life looks like as a superpower, and how the world reacts. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's travel to 2050 together. Let's start with the basics. A superpower isn't just a big country, it's a nation with economic dominance, military strength, and cultural sway that shapes the globe. Think the US post World War II or China's rise in the 21st century. Could India join that club by 2050? Let's look at the ingredients. First, the economy. As of March 2025, India's GDP is around $3.9 trillion, making it the fifth largest economy. Fast forward 25 years, analytics predict it could hit $15 trillion or more, overtaking the US and trailing only China. How? India's young workforce. Over 65% of its population is under 35 today, keeps growing and skilling up. By 2050, imagine millions of engineers, doctors, and innovators pouring out of revamped universities. Tech is the rocket fuel. Bangalore's already a Silicon Valley rival. But picture this, by 2050, India leads in artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and green energy. Companies like Tata and Reliance could launch solar grids powering half of Asia or drones delivering medicine to remote villages worldwide. ISRO, India's space agency, might not just explore Mars, it could mine asteroids or build lunar habitats. Infrastructure's the backbone. Today, India's building highways and metro systems at breakneck speed. By 2050, bullet trains could zip between Mumbai and Kolkata at 300 miles per hour. Smart cities like Gujarat's Gift City might multiply with AI managing traffic, waste, and energy, slashing poverty and pollution. Military power ramps up too. India's Navy already patrols the Indian Ocean in 2025, but by 2050, it could rival the US with aircraft carriers, nuclear subs, and hypersonic missiles. The army modernizes using drones and cyber weapons, while the Air Force dominates with homegrown jets like the Tejas Mark III. But it's not all rosy. Challenges loom large. Climate change could hammer India. Rising seas flooding Mumbai, heat waves scorching the north, water wars with Pakistan or China over rivers like the Indus might escalate. And inequality. If the rich-poor gap widens, social unrest could derail the dream. Solving these takes bold leadership. Think universal healthcare, renewable energy mandates, and peace talks with neighbors. One wild card, India's democracy. It's messy. By 2050, streamlined governance, maybe digital voting, or AI-assisted policies could unite 1.4 billion voices into a superpower engine. So India's got the tools: economy, tech, military, and grit. But what does this superpower actually feel like? Let's step in 2050. It's a bright morning in 2050 and India's transformed. Start in Mumbai. The skylines a forest of gleaming towers, some 200 stories tall, powered by fusion energy. Hover cars, yes, hover cars. Whisk commuters above streets, once choked with traffic. The slums, mostly gone, replaced by affordable housing wired with 6G internet. In Bangalore, tech rules. India's not just coding apps, it's building the future. Picture AI systems designing climate proof cities or bioengineered crops feeding billions. Indian startups like Ola or Zomato might evolve into global giants, delivering goods via drones from New York to Nairobi. Space is India's playground. ISRO's launched a manned mission to Mars. Imagine astronauts planting the tricolor on red soil. Back on Earth, India's asteroid mining brings rare metals, crashing prices, and fueling a tech boom. A lunar base, not sci fi, it's a refueling stop for India's space firefighters. Militarily, India's Titan. Its navy secures the Indian Ocean, protecting trade routers from pirates and rival powers. Picture carriers escorted by stealth destroyers while satellites overhead track every move. India's defense exports, like BrahMos missiles, arm allies from Africa to Southeast Asia. Culturally, India's unstoppable. Bollywood's bigger than ever. Think holographic films, starring AI generated actors, raking in billions globally. Hindi's must learn language, taught alongside Mandarin and English. Indian food. Dosas and butter chicken are as common as pizza. Restaurants worldwide fly the Indian flag. Diplomacies where India shines. At the UN, India's veto power, earned after reforms, steers climate deals, and peacekeeping. It leads a global South alliance, uplifting nations in Africa and Latin America with cheap tech and medicine. Prime Minister whoever chairs summits, balancing US and Chinese interests with a smile. Daily life reflects the rise. Villages have solar microgrids. Kids learn via VR classrooms, and healthcare is universal. Nanobots might even cure diseases before symptoms show. India's not perfect. Urban overcrowding and rural gaps linger, but it's a beacon of progress. India's on top, reshaping its own destiny, but power isn't a solo act. How does the world handle this new giant? By 2050, India's rise sends shockwaves. Start with China, its neighbor and rival. The border disputes in Ladakh. They might cool into an uneasy truce or flare into skirmishes over Himalayan resources. Economically, India's cheaper tech undercuts China's exports, sparking a trade rivalry or a partnership if they team up on climate tech. The US sees a mixed bag. India's democratic ally against authoritarian powers with joint bases in the Pacific. But if India's economy ellipses, America's tension rise. Think tariffs on India, AI, or space tech. Hollywood might even grumble as Bollywood steals the spotlight. Europe leans in. Germany and France court India for green energy. Imagine Indian solar panels powering Paris, but cultural clashes could brew if Indian influence feels too heavy-handed. Smaller nations thrive under India's wing. Bangladesh and Sri Lanka join an Indian Ocean Pact, boosting trade. Africa's big winner. Indian telemedicine and cheap EVs lift millions from poverty. But some resist, fearing India's dominance echoes colonial vibes. Global challenges shift too. Climate change. India's fusion energy and reforestation tech. Think drone planted forests. Lead the fight, but water wars with Pakistan test its diplomacy. Terrorism. India's cyber defenses and intelligence sharing curb threats worldwide. The downsides: resource grabs like lithium in South America might spark backlash. And if India's culture exports drone local traditions, you will hear grumbling from Tokyo to Toronto. It's a complex picture, opportunity and tension in equal measure. Let's bring it home. So, could India be a superpower by 2050? The pieces are there: massive population, tech innovation, military growth, and cultural pull. Picture a nation that's not just rich but influential, solving global problems while inspiring billions. The road's tough. Climate, inequality, and geopolitics won't bend easily. But India's resilience could carry it through. Maybe 2050's India isn't just a superpower, it's a new kind of leader blending ancient wisdom with futuristic vision. What do you think? Dream or reality? That's it for today. Tell me in the comments, could India rule the world by 2050? Like this if you enjoyed the journey, subscribe for more, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the future.